Welcome back to Literature Guide. Today's video is about Anglo-Saxon poetry. I have divided this video into 5 sections which contains the characteristics of Anglo-Saxon poetry, pre-Christian Anglo-Saxon poetry, or we can say non-Christian Anglo-Saxon poetry, elegiac Anglo-Saxon poetry, war songs in Anglo-Saxon poetry, and the Christian Anglo-Saxon poetry. This video contains all the major poems written in Anglo-Saxon period: Widsith, the Seafarer, Beowulf, the Ruined Burg, the Battle at Maldon, the Battle at Finnsburg, and other major poems. The Christian poems like Christ, Exodus, Genesis, Juliana, and the other major Christian poems written during the Anglo-Saxon period. I have deliberately made this video for the students who are studying for the NET exam. I have tried to give every detail regarding the Anglo-Saxon poetry. If you find this video really interesting and useful, do like and subscribe Literature Guide so that I can make many videos like this one for you. I don't want to waste your time. Let's dive into the video and enjoy the video.
Anglo-Saxon poetry. In the Anglo-Saxon poetry, the pagan traditions have been vividly reflected and they have been restored. The Anglo-Saxon English poetry presents scenes of adventures, bloodshed, wars and love for wildlife. It describes many ancestral legends which appeal the reader. The authorship of most of the Anglo-Saxon poetry is not known. It is abundant in stories from the Holy Bible, and lives of saints. Though the Anglo-Saxon poetry lacks individuality, it has considerable literary value. A large portion of poetry is missing, but the fragments of it are preserved in 4 manuscripts. The Anglo-Saxon poetry can be roughly classified under 2 categories: the pre-Christian Germanic poetry or non-Christian poetry and the Christian poetry. Characteristics of Anglo-Saxon poetry. The Anglo-Saxon poetry is marked by frequent use of alliteration. It resembles Hebrew poetry. The reader can find use of parallelisms, repetition of the same statements or ideas. The Anglo-Saxon poetry abounds in metaphorical phrases. There is no fixed number of syllables and there is absence of rhyme. There are variations of meter according to the subject matter. The Anglo-Saxon poetry was sung by minstrels who could modify the movement of the verse. They made some changes following some rules. The reader can find 4 accented syllables and 3 alliterative syllables. In Anglo-Saxon poetry, there is fine use of compound words or kennings. The poet presents abstract ideas indirectly to the reader and the lines can be interpreted differently by the reader. The Anglo-Saxon poetry has double line with a break in the middle which is called caesura. The style of Anglo-Saxon poetry is simple and direct. It is primitive in nature. The form of Anglo-Saxon poetry suited to manner and matter of the time. The poet employs a number of poetic tropes which makes the reader form their own meaning. The Anglo-Saxon poetry exhibits strong religious faith and belief in fate. The Anglo-Saxon poetry reflects respect and reverence for womanhood and the love of freedom. Pre-Christian or non-Christian Anglo-Saxon poetry. Widsith is an important Old English poem which can be deemed as an old heathen saga. The poem is tinged with fear and love of ancient earth that we find among primitive people. Widsith is the poet who presents 3 lists linked by his experience. The poem contains 148 lines. The first list deals with the names of great rulers, the second list presents the tribes with whom he claims to have traveled, and the third list contains names of people whom he found out. Widsith, or great traveller, has wandered much from tribe to tribe. He mentions princes like Eormenric, king of Goths, Attila, king of Huns, and Alboin, king of the Lombards. The characters of Hrothgar and Hagen appear in Widsith. The poem Widsith gives an idea of the wandering minstrels who visited courts, lauding princes from whom they received gifts. The Complaint of Dea or Dea's Lament can be considered as the first English lyric poem. It is an Old English poem probably composed in the 9th century. The Complaint of Dea comprises 42 lines divided into 7 parts of unequal length. The poem contains a refrain that passed, so can this. Dea is a poet or minstrel who has lost favor of his master. Dea consoles himself and endures misfortunes. The poem suggests transience and temporariness of the world. The Complaint of Dea describes the day-to-day trials of life. In the poem, Dea alludes to several heroes of Germanic origin as Theodoric, Hermanric and Wayland the Smith. He repeats the line, that evil ended so also may this. Dea loses his place because another bard has taken his place. The poem ends on a note of optimism that bad times will pass. The Complaint of Dea is the only Anglo-Saxon poem which has strophic form. The famous Old English poem Beowulf or the Lay of Beowulf presents a picture of the primitive age. Beowulf can be deemed as the oldest epic poem of the Teutonic Age. The poem Beowulf transports the reader back to the first half of the 6th century. The character and subject matter of Beowulf are not purely Anglo-Saxon. The action of Beowulf is set in the Danish island and the country of the Geats or Goths. Beowulf, the hero of the epic poem, is a Goth, hence Beowulf is not a national epic. Though Beowulf has a foreign platform, it is national in form. The story of Beowulf contains romantic and supernatural elements. The poem Beowulf comprises 3,182 lines describing the great deeds of Beowulf. Beowulf, a Geatish hero, kills Grendel, the Moster, his mother, and a dragon. Beowulf by his great deeds abates the fear of his people of the monster and the dragon. He sacrifices his life for his subjects. Elegiac Anglo-Saxon poetry. The Anglo-Saxon poem, The Ruined Burg, comprises 45 lines, and it is lamentation over the ruins of an old city which might be Bath. It was a magnificent place in Roman times, but the Saxon invaders destroyed it. The poet visits the remains of Bath and he laments over the sorry state of the great old town. The Wife's Complaint or The Wife's Lament is an Old English poem which deals with the pain of separation. The maiden has been condemned to live in a cave in a jungle. She dreams of her husband who is also not happy due to separation. Her husband puts on appearance of gladness. The poem The Wife's Complaint has been interpreted as the separation of the soul from God. The opening lines of the poem make the reader recall the seafarer. The Anglo-Saxon poem, The Wanderer, deals with the subject of exile and hardships of life like the seafarer. The Wanderer consists of 115 lines which describe pain and suffering of a man who has lost the favor of his patron. The poem depicts the transient nature of life and it ends on the note of Christian consolation. It is important to note that Wyse and Hugh Auden translated the poem, The Wanderer. The poem is a song of friendship. The poem also imparts a message that misery and suffering is a part of human life and it is common to all men. The poet gives a message that sadness is but a part of the universal order of change. Another important Old English poem is The Seafarer, which has been composed in elegiac tone. The seafarer deals with the themes of exile, suffering, and solitude. The poem presents a desultory condition of a man. He is vulnerable and insecure as he has lost favor of his master. He recalls old legends and battles. The seafarer deals with a conflict between past glory and present despair. But there is a note of optimism. The seafarer comprises 124 lines and it describes the suffering, hardships, and temptations of life. The seafarer gives way to moral reflection on the transience and mutability of human life. The poem ends with the Christian prayer. It is important to note that Ezra Pound translated the first part of the poem. Some thinkers and critics opine that the seafarer is an allegorical representation of human banishment from God on the sea of life. Anglo-Saxon War Poetry. The Battle of Maldon is a poem describing the story of national defeat of Maldon. The Battle of Maldon is strictly a historical war song with a detailed epic narrative. It recalls the battles of the Iliad. The soldiers are led by the old chief Byrhtnoth, who meets his death while fighting with a band of Northmen. The enemy's vessels were coming up the Blackwater, a little to the north of when the Saxon chief is wounded to death. He rejoices and feels happy. The leader breathes his last, thanking God that he has suffered to strike heavy blows before his demise. The death of Byrhtnoth adds the national pride and zeal to the army who avenge their fallen leader, and they die about Byrhtnoth's dead body. The poem The Battle of Maldon comprises 325 lines. It is incomplete at the beginning and the end. There is another Anglo-Saxon war song, namely, Brunanburh, which celebrates the deeds of Athelstan and his brother and successor Edward. The Old English poem, Brunanburh, describes the battle fought between the English and the Scots. Athelstan and Edward win over their enemies Olaf, Constantine II, and the Northmen. The battle was fought on the coast of England. This Anglo-Saxon war song reflects the wild and primitive mood of the Anglo-Saxons. The poem Brunanburh depicts scene of fleeing invaders in an ironic tone. The Anglo-Saxon poem The Fight at Finnisburg is a war song. The poem contains 50 lines and it is fragmentary in form. The poem describes a clash between Hnef with his 60 warriors and Finn and his army. Hnef was attacked at midnight by the enemy. On waking up, Hnef and his soldiers bravely fought with the enemy for 5 days. As the poem is a fragment, the readers do not know the result of the battle. It is important to note that the fight at Finnisburg is celebrated in Beowulf by Hrothgar's gleeman at the feast Heorot. The Anglo-Saxon poem, Waldhere, comprises 2 fragments which describe a tale of Waldhere and his betrothed bride Hildgund. Both Waldhere and Hildgund were hostages at the court of Attila. Waldhere escaped with Hildgund with a treasure but attacked by Gunther and his soldiers while crossing the mountains. Waldhere fought with the enemy and escaped with Hildgund. The poem ends on a happy note of marriage of Waldhere and Hildgund. The same story is found in Old German work Nibelungenlied, composed in Latin. The significance of Waldhere lies in the fact that the ancestors were acquainted with the legends and literature of other Germanic peoples. Anglo-Saxon Christian poetry. The Anglo-Saxon poem, Phoenix, is a beast allegory comprising 677 lines. The phoenix is a symbol of Jesus Christ and the Christian soul in this poem. The 4th century poet Lactantius has borrowed this subject from Ovid and Clandian. Another Anglo-Saxon poem, Genesis, deals with the fall of the angels. The poem consists of 2,396 lines. It is important to note that John Milton's famous epic poem Paradise Lost is modelled on the poem Genesis. Judith is an Anglo-Saxon poem which comprises 350 lines. The poem presents a scene of a banquet in the Assyrian camp where Judith is carried to the drunken Assyrian general, Holofernes. The biblical character of Judith attracts the attention of the reader. She prays the Lord for help before she strikes Holofernes. By the grace of the Lord, Judith escapes to her country and returns to Bethulia with Holofernes as his head. The poem describes the defeat of the Assyrians and the valor and courage of Judith. Cynewulf's poem Juliana deals with a tale of Christian martyrdom. With two epic poems, Elaine and Andreas, Cynewulf reaches the acme of his poetical art. The poem Elaine deals with Constantine's vision of the Holy Cross. On the eve of the battle, Constantine wins a battle under a new emblem. He sends his mother Elaine to Jerusalem in search of the original Holy Cross and the nails. The Dream of the Rood is a famous Anglo-Saxon poem, and it has been attributed to Cynewulf, who was probably Bishop of Lindisfarne in the 8th century. It is said that Cynewulf was a wandering singer or poet who lived a secular life. The Dream of the Rood deals with a dream in which the poet sees the miraculous tree laden with jewels and bathed in blood. The tree speaks to the poet and relates its story from the day when it was cut off on the verge of the forest. The young hero, brave and strong, was lifted on it, and it preambled as it got the kiss of God in man. The rood here means cross. The tree is now honored by men as it is the cure for all their miseries and sufferings. The Dream of Rood presents many words, phrases and images for the figure of Jesus Christ. The cross is a tree which speaks of its own change from a tree to cross. The poem describes images of suffering and redemption. The cross imparts spiritual support to man who is lonely, insecure, and vulnerable. The authorship of the 4 Anglo-Saxon poems, The Christ, Juliana, Elaine and The Fates of the Apostles, has been attributed to Cynewulf. The poem The Christ is a didactic poem. It presents a fine description of the Nativity, Incarnation, the descent into hell, the Ascension, and the Last Judgment. The poem is divided into 3 sections. Cynewulf has taken his subject matter from the church liturgy and homilies of Gregory the Great. The poem reflects love and reverence for Jesus Christ and Virgin Mary. The Christ vividly exhibits the spirit of early Latin Christianity. There is a fine comparison between life and a sea voyage in the poem. The Anglo-Saxon poem Andreas has been attributed to Cynewulf. It deals with the story of Saint Andrew. There is pictorial descriptions of the sea, and the poem abounds with action and incidents. In the poem, Andreas, Saint Andrew goes on the sea to free his companion Saint Matthew from the cannibals. The sailor of the boat is Jesus Christ in the garb of a boatman. Saint Andrew rescues Saint Matthew from the barbarians, and the cannibals are converted by a miracle. The 2 poems Genesis and Exodus contain fine description of active creation and fall, and the Exodus from Egypt. The 2 poems present strength and glory of God. They reflect grandeur but lack sublimity. The Lover's Message is an Old English poem which deals with a message of man to his wife. The man had to leave his land because of a rivalry. He reports his wife about his prosperity in another distant land, asking her to join him in his place of exile where he has become powerful. He will make her happy if she joins him. The poem, The Lover's Message, has been interpreted as an address from Jesus Christ to the Church. The poem comprises 53 lines. Christ and Satan holds 3 sections of 729 lines. It presents Satan's mournful and passionate lamentation for his banishment from heaven, and harrowing of hell. The poem also presents a scene of the temptation of Jesus Christ by Satan. The poem ends on the condemnation of Satan by Christ and Satan's banishment to hell. Another important Old English poem, namely, Harrowing of Hell, deals with Christ's entry into hell to lead out the condemned souls due to Adam's sin. The poem presents discussion by Jesus Christ, Satan and the gatekeeper of hell. Christ enters hell, captivates Satan and frees his disciples. The poem contains 250 lines which depict the story of Jesus Christ. There is another famous Anglo-Saxon biblical poem which deals with the theme of the fall of the angels. The poem The Fall of the Angels depicts the machinations of Satan as he is banished by God from heaven to hell. Satan avenges himself on God by tempting both Adam and Eve to commit the first sin. John Milton's great epic poem Paradise Lost is inspired by the poem. The poem presents psychological explanation of the first sin, and the study of motives of Satan, Adam, and Eve. The Fates of the Apostles is another Anglo-Saxon poem with religious theme. Though its authorship has been attributed to Cynewulf, it is still doubtful. Daniel is an Anglo-Saxon poem which is a paraphrase of Book of Daniel of the Old Testament. The poem comprises 764 lines.
How is the video? I hope you liked the video. If you really liked this video on Anglo-Saxon poetry, do like and subscribe Literature Guide. I have deliberately made this video for you. This video took 7 days. I studied some books on English literature and just gathered the information on the Anglo-Saxon poetry. I have already produced many videos for you on the English novel, English drama and poetry. If you visit my channel, you can watch all those videos. They are made for you and they contain useful and important information for the students of English literature. I will meet you soon with an interesting topic on English literature. Meet you.
Please subscribe Literature Guide.